Hi again. Now that we've authenticated our email setup, we can actually start using it on our website. That was the whole purpose of this, is to get a website where you can start getting people to sign up. So we're inside Mailerlite here. Now there's an option on the side here to create a form. We're actually not going to need this, but you can create different types of forms. Those pop-ups that show up when somebody visits your website, I don't like them very much, but apparently they really work. You can choose that, you can choose embedded forms, and you can do certain promotions and things. It's like special offers, stuff like that. But as I say, we're not going to need all of that because Card has all of this built in. What we do need to do is to come down here on the tab on the left here to integrations, because they want to use the Mailerlite API. Now, API just means Application Programming Interface. It's a way for computers to talk to computers, so it can do it all for you. So we're going to say API use. But first we're going to see how exactly we fit all this together. So going over to Card, this is the website we set up previously. I'm going to edit this, so I just click it. Here we are, and I've got this with get my free book, so I'm going to get rid of that button, and instead I'm going to add a form. And there we are. Now by default it's going to come up as a contact form. Now that lets somebody send a message to you, which is nice, but I want a sign up form. And you can see now it's changed to name and email, and it's offering via MailChimp. Well, we're not using MailChimp, we're using Mailerlite. So we just select that, and here you see it wants the API key. Now there's instructions here on, if you click on that it'll give you some instructions on how to set it up, but for now we'll come back over to Mailerlite. As I said, we just went down to integrations here, and we're going to use the API. So we hit use, and there are no tokens yet. You need to create a token, and you need to keep that a secret. You give it to Card, and you don't give it to anybody else. And obviously you're going to see mine when I create this, so I'll have to change it once I finish recording so that nobody can abuse it, because this one's going on the internet. Never put your API key on the internet. So generate a new token, and we give it a name. Now I'm going to call it Card, just because that's where I'm using it. You could give it the name of the actual domain or the website or whatever you like, and you just have to say you've read and understood the token requirements and the terms of use. Again, please do read this sort of stuff, but basically it boils down to don't be a spammer. Get permission from people before you email them. Create the token, and there's my number. Huge, great long number, but I just hit copy, go back over to Card, and in the API key field I hit paste, and that's done. Now you can also have a subscriber group ID. Now I do recommend doing this, but it is optional. You don't have to do this. If it's too complicated, you can skip over this part. This will just add people to your mailing list, and then you can email them. You're basically done at this point. But I'm going to come back over to Mailerlite here. I'm done with the key. I will download a copy of it. Do you want to allow it? Yes. And whoop, it goes off and saves it. If we close that now, there's my domain. Now I can't view that again. Now, it doesn't want somebody being able to go in and grab this number. So if you didn't keep a record of it, if you didn't download it, or you didn't copy it or save it somewhere, you'll have to delete it and try and create a new one. But I've already saved it, so that's fine. Now, if I come over here to subscribers, we looked in here before. What we've got is just me at the moment. I've been sent one email, it was opened, and I even clicked on it. So this is quite handy. It tells you who's actually engaging with your content, and we'll come into details and things you can do with that afterwards. Now, it wanted a subscriber group ID, optional ID of a subscriber group, located by viewing your subscriber group at Mailerlite and extracting the numeric portion following group equals in the URL. So this is all my subscribers. I can have segments, which is dynamic lists. So I can choose for this to be people who have clicked on an email in the last 30 days, for example. I'm not going to set that up now. Groups are manual, so I can organize them and use that information in the future. For example, if I want to know who signed up through a link in the back of my book, I can send them to a different group versus someone who signed up on the website, or someone who signed up because I did a promotion, something like that. So we're going to create a quick group. I'm going to call it Card. Again, you might want to call it something like website signups authorhow2.com. Depends exactly how complicated you want things to be. This very clearly tells me where these people came from. I hit create, and there we are. I have it. Now, by default, I'm in Safari here, and it doesn't show me that part. But if I click on here, you can see it's dashboard Mailerlite groups. So I need to view the group, and then come up to the URL here. And if I come up, whoops, if I come across, no, you can't scroll. Well, that's fantastic. If I use my cursor keys, you can see that blah, 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 and group equals this number here. So that's the number that we want to copy. You can see why I said this is optional. You don't have to do it, but I'm going to copy that number in. Come back over here, and I'm going to put that in. Again, this is optional. You don't have to do that. It's just something that you can choose to do if you wish. So, subscriber group ID. And then what do we do when we've finished, when we've signed up? Do we display a message? Do we redirect to a URL? For example, you might offer a free copy of the book, so you will then send them to the page where they can download it. For now, I'm just going to say display a message. Thank you. And here are some options. Now, you can have an autofocus, so as soon as the site loads, it's ready for them to type in. It's up to you if you want to do that. Protect with reCAPTCHA. Now, we've all done these forms where it's, click on the motorbikes and where are the traffic lights, and you're training these self-driving cars and things. This will help stop bots signing up. So you can choose to do that if you like. I don't think it makes a lot of difference, but it's entirely up to you. But otherwise, you're done. And we are done. Now, I don't want this below my social media, so I'm going to drag that up. This is how easy it is with Card. And can I actually fit it into there? No, it won't let me fit it in that section, but here we are. So I can add a little bit of text to explain as well. Drag that up. And, oops, edit the text. Get your free book. Now you probably want to put in some more information about how often you send newsletters, things like that, but for now, that's all we need. So we hit this little save icon, publish the site, confirm what we've got here, publishing to a custom domain, authorhow2.com. We set all this up. We don't need to do this again, it's already been done. Publish the changes. Done. So we can view the site. That is my new website, get a free book. Sign up to my mailing list. So I'm going to sign up and we'll see if it works. So we've got Mark, and I'm going to put in a different email address. I've already got my authorhow2.com email signed up, so I'm going to use mark@markwrites.com. So this is a new email address, and we'll be able to see on Mailerlite what happens. I hit submit, it thinks about it, and it says thank you. So that's what we agreed that it would do. Done. So now, come back over to Mailerlite, we'll go to all subscribers, and we have 2. And you can see we have the one that we automatically had, and then that's the one I've just entered. So no sends, no opens, no clicks, and I just subscribed today. It doesn't know my location. That's fair enough. Sometimes you can pick this up from the IP address, sometimes you can't. I wouldn't really worry about it. If you're going to try and do geographically distinct emails, then that's something you might want to ask your subscribers about, but otherwise I wouldn't worry. Now if I go to groups, we've got website signups, and we've got 1 subscriber. And if I view that group, there I am. So it's added me to that group because that's where I came from. You might use a different landing page for people who are signing up from the back of your book, for example, and then you'll know, oh, they've read one of my books already. These are people who are interested in the freebie. So you can segment your group. But what you can still do when you go to campaigns, for example, is, if I just quickly jump in, recipients, I can choose all my subscribers or a particular group. So that's quite handy. If I want to send one out saying, hey, how did you hear about me? I probably only want to send it to these guys. I wouldn't want to send it to the people who I already know have read one of my books. So it's quite handy to have these groups. But like I say, it's optional. It's not something you absolutely have to do. I think it is helpful from the beginning to have your subscribers segmented in some way, but I really, really wouldn't worry about it. The main thing is you've got now something set up. You've got a website, you've got a landing page, you've got a nice picture of your book cover, and you can now start attracting people to your email list. So you can hand this out when you meet people. They can get their free book or whatever it is, and you've got them on an email list, so you can send that out to them. Pretty straightforward, I hope. Let me know in the comments what you think. If there's anything there that you didn't understand, that you want more information on, let me know. But otherwise, thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.